People like bad news. Front pages of newspapers are filled with bad news. Bad news sells. For example, mass shootings, terrorist attacks, major car crashes, and shark attacks are what news sources try to cover first. However, apparently, people don't really like really bad news. What kills more people each year than all of these combined? By far, cancer. And yet we almost never seem to hear about it. Cancer kills 7.6 million people worldwide each year. This means that 20,000 people die each day of cancer. For some reason, only recently are people giving cancer the attention it deserves. We have made incredible advances in this short time. But what if we could have paid more attention from the beginning? How far could we be now? Franklin Roosevelt was the first president to consider cancer an important issue. In 1937, the National Cancer Institute was established with a yearly budget of $400,000. Now, $2.2 billion are spent per year in the United States on cancer-related research. Since the 1990s alone, the cancer death rate has dropped 18%. This improvement is thanks to advancements in prevention, screening, chemotherapy, surgery, and radiation.
Another treatment called Pap test was developed in 1943. It is able to detect cervical cancer before it spreads. They have reduced death rates by 70% since the 1950s. But prevention of cervical cancer took an even bigger leap forward in 1981, when a vaccine was developed against the cancer death-causing hepatitis B. Sometimes cancer cannot be prevented, in which case cancer is the key of saving lives. In 1975, colon cancer deaths had dropped 40% because of screening method developed in 1967 called colonoscopy. CT scans were developed in 1970s and are still used today to detect the growth of tumors. And the most popular screening process, the mammography, was also developed in the 70s and dropped breast cancer death rates by 27%. For some cancers, surgery is the best treatment. Thankfully, surgery has come a long way. A dentist in 1846 made one of the most important surgical advancements in history: anesthesia. Ever since, scientists have tried to make surgeries less painful and invasive. For example, in the 1880s, a woman with breast cancer went through a radical mastectomy, which removed the entire breast. By 1977, doctors had figured out how to perform a lumpectomy, which removes only the tumor. Chemotherapy is probably the most well-known cancer treatment. Thanks to nitrogen, mustard used in World War II, scientists figured out how to kill cancer cells by modifying DNA. Within 25 years of this discovery, the first cancer patient was completely cured. More than one treatment can be used depending on what type of cancer you have.
Many different cancers, and each of them is created by its own unique set of mutations and other abnormalities that bring those cancers to life.
It's because these diseases are incredibly complex. Cancer is not a single disease. It is a constellation of many different diseases. And we lumped them all together at the beginning because we didn't know they were different. And now, through decades of collaborative research work, we learned that there are many different mutations in different cancers.